So if you just got your NexStar SE telescope and you're looking for a quick way to set it up and use the go-to functionality, you found the right place. I'm going to show you that today. It's actually pretty easy to do. We can do this whole thing in about 10 minutes. Now, if you look at the instruction manual, there are 5 different ways to do alignment. I'm only going to show you the easiest way, which is called SkyAlign. And for that, you don't have to know any of the names of the stars or where they are in the sky. You just need to be able to point it to 3 different bright lights in the sky. And I'm going to show you that, and I'm only going to use what came in the box. So I'm going to use the mount, the telescope, the tripod, the 25mm eyepiece, the star diagonal. The only extra piece of equipment we're going to need is a level. Absolutely need the level. Now, when you do this for the first time, you are going to have to align your red dot finder to where the telescope is pointed, and that is most easily done during the day. And I actually did that before the sun went down. To do that, just point your telescope at something far away, at least a city block, but the farther the better. I did this, like I said, before the sun went down on a ridge that is almost exactly a mile away. If you have to do something closer, like I said, make it at least a city block away, and you will want to fine tune that red dot point once you're on your first star. And the process is really simple. Just power on the telescope and use the directional buttons to put your distant object in the very middle of your view through the eyepiece. And then use the front and rear adjustment wheels on the red dot finder to center that dot on where the telescope view is pointed. Like I said, this is a really quick procedure. What we're going to do is we're going to set up and level the tripod. We're going to install the mount and the telescope on it. We're going to point to 3 points in the sky, and we're going to be aligned. Now for this, what you're going to want to do is take your level and put it across 2 of the legs and make sure those 2 legs are level. And then once those 2 are level, you're going to put it from the 3rd leg to between the other 2 and use this leg to level against those other 2. And you're going to do that by adjusting each one of the legs. Now the tripod base is level, so we're going to just throw the NexStar mount on, and it doesn't really matter which direction it's going. You're definitely going to want to make sure the screws are fairly tight. You don't have to strain too much, but you don't want any movement at all between the mount and that tripod. And you're going to put the telescope on so that it's on the right side of the mount. And again, you're going to want to tighten that pretty well, not over tight, but very firm. And a couple things here, you can see there's a little cutout in the mount, and that's where this black part is going to go into. Also make sure this rail is well seated into the mount. Okay, we are set up and ready to go. I have attached my phone to the eyepiece so you can see what I'm seeing. And what we're going to do is just point to 3 bright objects in the sky. It could be the moon, could be a planet, could be a star, doesn't matter. What's important is they're far apart, and ideally they form some kind of a triangle. They're not all in a line across the sky. You get a couple low ones and a high one. So that's what we're going to do. We've got a bright light up there, we got a bright light over there, and then a somewhat bright light over there. And so we're going to go through each one of them, 1, 2, 3, and do the alignment. Also, a little pro tip on here, not required, but it is easiest to center a star in your eyepiece if it is out of focus. So what I'm going to do is do this process with a defocused star. So you're going to see a disc instead of a point for a star. Okay, when you first power on your telescope, it's just going to say press enter to begin alignment. So we're going to do that. And then this is where you select the alignment method, and you can see it says SkyAlign, and you can scroll through the different alignment methods: auto 2-star, 2-star alignment, 1-star alignment, solar system align, EQ north align, EQ south align, and then back to SkyAlign. So we want to do that SkyAlign method, so we're just going to press enter. And then it's going to ask where what location you're at. So you can use a city, and the general rule is if you're within, say, 50 miles from a major city, just enter the city. Otherwise, you're going to want to scroll down and do a custom site and do your latitude and longitude. I am pretty close to Denver, so I'm going to choose Denver from the city database. So in city database, I'm just going to press enter. And yes, it's North America. And yes, it is the United States. And I'll scroll down to Colorado. Press enter. And gotta scroll down to Denver. And they actually have pretty small cities on there, so just try the largest city that's close by to you. So Denver's good, and we'll say enter. Okay, and the time is 10:46, so we will say 22:40. Let's see if it's closer to 47. 47:00, and enter. And then choose between standard time and daylight savings time. It is winter time, so it'll be standard time. We'll say enter. And then the date, that is 12/24/2025, so we're good with that. Press enter. And this just says use the following screen to select 3 bright stars. Press enter to continue. So we're going to press enter. And then now it's just instructing me to use the direction buttons, that's these 4, to center a bright object in the finder. And by the finder, we're talking about the red dot finder. So let's go do that. Okay, I've got that in the red dot finder. And now when it's in the red dot finder, then I'm just going to press enter. And now we're still on object 1. It's going to automatically change the speed to be slower for fine tuning. And so this is where you're going to look through your eyepiece and put that thing in the center. So let's do that. Okay, that is centered in the eyepiece. And after you center it in the eyepiece, then you're going to press align. And you can follow the instructions. It says that on there. And now it says go to object 2. And again, this is just putting it in the red dot finder. I've got it in the red dot finder, so I'm going to press enter. Again, following the instructions, and now it has slowed down the slew rate, so everything's slower for fine tuning, and now I can center it in my eyepiece. And you might have to do some fine tuning through the red dot finder too. That looks to be centered, so we'll press align. And now it's asking for object 3. So we're going to go pretty far off to the west now. There's one bright object over there. I saw it earlier. It's a little bit hard to find with all these bright lights on my house. All right, I had to kill the lights just temporarily because that star over to the west is just a little bit dimmer than the others, and with all the Christmas lights and everything, it was just too hard to see. Okay, I got it in the finder scope, so I'll say enter. And then let me get it in the center of the eyepiece, and we'll press align. Okay, we got that third object in the eyepiece, so let's press align. And we'll see what it says. It says, please wait. And it says match confirmed, enter to continue. And this is key, turn your star pointer off. Otherwise you will forget. That star pointer will last for probably a couple weeks with that battery, but you will run through some batteries in your time. Okay, so now we are aligned to the sky. Actually, let me turn the lights on quick. This is where you can point your telescope at whatever you want to in the sky. You can choose a star, you can choose a deep sky object like a nebula, like Orion, or what I like to do is hit the solar system button because I like looking at planets and they're the most fun to look at, I think. So if I press solar system, it'll tell us what's in the sky tonight. So right now it says solar system Jupiter, and if I scroll down, Saturn, it says, is also out, and Uranus is also out, and Neptune. So Jupiter is a nice bright object, so let's go there. So to do that, I'm just going to press enter. And you can see it is moving over to Jupiter, presumably. Now the alignment isn't great because Jupiter didn't show up on my eyepiece, but at least now we know which bright star it is, and we can use the red dot finder to center it, and we'll find it here. Okay, it was barely out of the view. Let me focus it. And there is a nice view of Jupiter with the 4 Galilean moons. And look at that, you can see the bands on Jupiter. That's pretty cool. And there is a little backlash in these gears, and so it might take a minute to get Jupiter or whatever object you're looking at to stay in the middle of your field of view. You could see it was kind of drifting before, and now it's pretty much locked right in. And you kind of got to overexpose Jupiter if you want to see those Galilean moons. So that's really all there is to it. If you do get an alignment error, double check your city was set right, double check your time was set right, and make sure you are using 3 very bright objects in the sky. Hopefully that was helpful. If you do have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be sure to answer those. And if you want to see more videos on how to do things with the telescope, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.